So we're talking about Mama.
Mama.
Mama in the house.
Mama.
Me and Samson went to saw it.
Yes,
Baker
we
and
did.
his old lady came a little bit later.
Yeah,
They
you
sat
were
in the
late.
front row. Sat in the front
We
row.
almost got in a fight because you guys were late. You know that, right?
That's really weird.
Well, it is kind of weird, but it's also kind of weird the fact that the rooster looked over and go, "No, we're reserving these 2 seats," and this ass was kind of like, "Oh, where are they at?"
He was about 4'5", by the way. 4'5".
Yeah, he wasn't very
And
big.
I wanted to stand up and start whipping his ass.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit taller than that guy. But he looked
But I
very
mean, how?
angry.
What would
what's
that?
the point of that fight?
What would that
to
have
prove
achieved?
that
Nothing.
you can't sit there?
The
awkward.
fact that he actually said, "Well, hey, they're not here, and we're going to sit here anyway," was just awkward.
Yeah.
It was like
You know?
10 minutes after the show.
I've never once walked up and somebody sit there and say, "Hey man, these are saved. These seats
you're
are
like-
saved." Well, not anymore. They're not. I'm gonna sit there. I've always been like, "Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm gonna go sit over here."
That's why we got to stop going to that crap place.
No, that place is
You
terrible.
wanted to go there. So
I know,
bad.
I did because I kind of like the fact that it's the people. You know what I'm saying? But it's obviously ghetto as hell, right?
Yeah.
Somebody bring Mama. We're seeing Mama, and they bring their 2-year-old kid. I mean, how weird is that?
Randomly in the middle of the movie, it's just like,
They kept knocking over. They kept throwing their sippy bottle down. I was like, "What idiot
I thought
brings
it
their
was a 3D explanation of what was going on in the movie. I was like, oh shit, what's going on? And then it was no, not really. It's the kid.
Yeah, you were like,
3-year-old
"Oh, it's
kid
just a
knocking
kid.
over some
It's
stuff.
just a kid." The movie wasn't in 3D, by the way.
It made me think it was a 3D.
that little kid chasing after their sippy cup.
I like the fact the rooster says, "If I want it to be in 3D, it will be."
I will pay for that at that point.
I just randomly put movies in 3D.
You know what? I'm not satisfied. 3D.
It's now 3D. It's now a 3D movie. Okay, so we caught Mama.
Yeah, Mama. It's
Come on.
a story about these 2 little girls that are found in the wilderness, and they are brought to live with their uncle, their dad's brother, and his girlfriend, and something perhaps supernatural or paranormal follows them home.
Well, didn't you think that they had a problem explaining it from the very beginning? Like,
Yes.
because it started
For sure.
off with a car wreck, and then they went to a weird cabin.
Yeah, this
And
guy
then-
and his 2 little girls.
Right, and the guy was definitely disturbed and about to kill his kids, right? So
Yeah.
I thought that was going to have everything to do with the movie, and I was wrong, apparently.
You were wrong.
Right, so that whole storyline of him wanting to kill his kids had really nothing to do.
Well, in a way, I think it did, because him wanting to do that, then all of a sudden the TikTok weird mama thing came out and grabbed him, and that was the first moment you realized that she had a weird protection thing for these kids.
Yeah, but don't you think that storyline of him wanting to shoot his own daughter in the back of the head
Made no
could have
sense.
Yeah,
It made no
It
sense.
made no sense.
I mean, I got that Mama took over and knocked him out.
Yeah.
The whole premises of some weird ghost lady coming in and knocking him out.
He looks ridiculous with that hat on. It's so hilarious.
You love him with that hat.
It looks ridiculous. Doesn't it? All right,
See,
go
let's
ahead.
put the rooster hat on me and call it a day. That's not the point of the story. Anyways, so the daughter, like the oldest
Right.
daughter, was fine with.
Yeah, but
Mama taking over.
did you saw that one scene, right?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you not think that was going to be explained later on in the movie, that he was going to shoot his own kid? I'm like, I thought the whole movie was going to be based around that Mama had something to do with the ex-wife, maybe that he killed or didn't kill. It didn't explain anything. It was just like, a random dude wanted to shoot his kid in the back of the head.
Yeah,
it wasn't
that
even
was the worst
explained.
part. That was the worst part
Right.
of the movie, actually.
Right. It made absolutely no sense. I spent the rest of the movie going, it's going to tie it back in. It's going to tie it back in.
And it didn't.
And it didn't.
And you want to know something else about this movie that I noticed? Most of these horror movies and things, like The Ring, the explanation or origin of the antagonist, you always find out about that like just before the end or something like that. In this movie, it was like, here are some kids. And by the way, here, go ahead, take care of these little girls. I'll be coming by every week to take a look at them, make sure they're doing okay. Oh, by the way, I found this crazy woman who jumped in the river.
Well, they did the Ring. They did what they did in the Ring, was investigative. So they had to investigate and tie it all in with the psychiatrist about the mother who, I guess, stole a kid and stabbed a nun. Who knows? I don't know. It was just kind of, I thought it was all over the place, and I didn't think that it was pieced together right. In the beginning, really, honestly, I think it just really throws you off.
Yeah.
Huh?
You're expecting it to go one way.
The dad and the dad's family to have something to do with whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
I expected the psychiatrist to have something to do with the movie.
Well, he did.
He had a lot to do with it.
No, he got scared. That's the movie. He got scared.
What are you talking about? The box that he has?
He was the
box
one,
with the unknown.
He was the one who investigated what was going on, right?
Yeah, he investigated, but he wasn't in the movie.
He was not in the movie? The psychiatrist?
At the end of the movie.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I
he
mean,
investigated and talked to the little girl, and
right.
that was it, though. That was it.
Well,
I thought that
He dropped out at the end of the movie. He was not there, was he?
No, because he was dead. Spoiler
There you go.
alert! Spoiler alert!
Spoiler!
But I mean, he was dead, so he couldn't be at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But he didn't investigate it enough to let anybody else know what was going on.
This is true. He didn't. Well, in a way, I guess he did all his recordings and his notes and everything.
Well, she found it.
Exactly.
The whole thing came from the fact that he investigated what was going on, figured it out, and then she picked up and found it. The problem is that somewhere along the way, you kind of want to be scared in a scary movie, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is, right?
Sure.
I was definitely, leaning over the rooster, going, "Hey, at what time am I going to get scared in this movie?"
Are you
right?
are you serious? You weren't creeped out in like the very first scene where you find the girls in the wilderness and they're
Definitely
like,
not.
No.
Wait, little girl like
I
crawls down the stairs all
No.
creepy. I was like, I'm out.
No.
No,
I
because
agree.
they set
I agree.
it up to before those girls will be creepy to go down the stairs like that. They set it up. The movie set it up.
Yes, but it's
They'd
creepy.
be creepy to walk down the stairs. They're little wild animals. And that it was fine.
And that part was great. Like,
Yeah.
I liked it. I go, "Oh, that's kind of creepy." I remember saying, "Whoa, that guy, it's creepy."
That creeped me out. Yeah.
For a minute, I thought it was the guy from Terminator. What was his name?
Robert Patrick.
I thought it was Robert, the guy with the beard.
Yeah.
I even leaned over. I said, "Is that Robert?" You said, "Yes." We were wrong.
No.
I said, "Is that Robert?" And you said, "Yes."
Yes. That's not him.
No, it's not Robert Patrick, by the
Who
way.
is that person?
Who knows? Some random old dude with a creepy beard. But it definitely wasn't Robert Patrick. And I thought it was, because I said to the rooster, "Oh my God, that's Robert Patrick." And then 5 minutes into it, I was like, "No way, that's definitely not him." But I thought that was creepy, and it was a good intro, but then the movie died for like an hour. Rooster, after an hour and 15 minutes, goes, "It's an hour and 15 minutes in the movie, by the way. Just to let you know, it's an hour and 15 minutes into a scary movie, and we haven't been scared."
I'll let you know that hour 15 in, I was not scared at all.
Oh, definitely not. It
By
had
the
a
way,
good
I was
start,
bored.
and it was bored. Oh,
Hour
so
15 into a
boring.
movie, I'm bored.
How
I
is
have a
this?
question for
How
you.
is this movie totally kicking ass in the box office? Because it is. It is.
It definitely is. Yes.
It took a Broken City.
Yeah.
It took
Last Stand.
Last Stand, and it even overshadowed
Gangster Squad.
Gangster Squad. Thank God Baker's here to finish my sentences because I can't do it.
Obviously, you're sitting there. You look like you're about to stutter. You had a pre-stutter going on.
Well, you better stop me from stuttering.
My bad. I actually have a question for you about the whole scary thing. Do you think anything is scary in movies anymore?
Yeah.
What's scary in new movies? They can't do scary anymore because we're all so desensitized. The only thing that gets you anymore is the jump out and
Okay,
shock
I got you. No, that's a good point. But I was scared to death in Insidious. Insidious scared the crap out of me.
Really?
I thought it was the last scary movie that I saw that was kind of scary. And it was scary. It was kind of freaky. Creepy. Because I say creepy, right? What's
Yes.
scary anymore?
Yes.
Right? Whatever. I say creepy. So they had elements of creepy in this movie, but they should have exploited it more. Is what I'm saying. I think it was having the guy fall down the stairs and then be out of it, and then
something I thought was going to be a huge part of the story.
That was definitely a bad move.
I thought that was a terrible move. Why would you have him
on the movie?
Because then
going to coma?
That actually brings up another good point. The female lead in this movie I was led to believe
she
something
had great
completely
cleavage.
Different. Yeah, well, yes.
She had phenomenal cleavage.
Yes.
Throughout the entire movie, and just is what they do in scary movies and make sure that there's boobs involved.
Yep.
Because was that phenomenal cleavage?
Yep, definitely was.
Okay, I didn't want to get involved in that part of the scary movie, but that's the only good part of the scary movie.
Because that's what you said. You said the best part of this whole movie is the cleavage. Her cleavage was
out there.
She wasn't even all that hot, but she had hot cleavage.
I thought she was incredibly hot.
I know, because she liked that. What the
weird
gothic.
chicks, but she was
the weird gothic, dark hair, dark eyeliner.
She was not attractive in any way, but her cleavage was.
Jessica Chastain, or is the actress's name? Yeah.
She's not hot, no, but she has hot cleavage.
But here's the thing.
It's not like hot fudge. We're referring to her cleavage.
What?
She has hot cleavage.
She has hot cleavage. I mean, seriously, temperature is skyrocketing. But I was led to believe in the previews that it was a completely different character. In all the previews, she was that concerned person that whole time. And then, when dude falls down the stairs and she's left with the kids, all of a sudden she's the one that's like, she's sitting there like, oh, God, I can't do this. I don't want, these are not my kids. It's not my job. And she's all mad about it. And I think that actually was the whole writing point, was just she's stuck with him. She resents it. In the end, she realizes that she cares for the kids.
But you wouldn't stick with it. You wouldn't do that.
What do you mean?
I mean, her character would not. She would have bolted.
No, she cared.
She even had the one
for the
friend
guy.
who goes,
she was doing it for him.
Have nightmares in the middle of the night for a guy and stuff. I mean, the right.
It's a
what
nightmare.
I'm saying,
Who has the nightmare and says, "Well, you know what? Something supernatural's going on. I need to get out of here."
That was kind of a scary nightmare, by the way.
It was. Yes.
Okay, that was the only other creepy part in the whole movie. So let's skip ahead to the end about how crappy it was. Huh?
Wait.
Crappy end?
Hold on. Crappy even before the end. How about the computer screen just all of a sudden having "mama" typed into it? Mama.
Yeah, what was that? What was that?
I don't even know.
Halfway through though. It was like halfway through the movie.
But I mean, who was watching that computer screen?
No, I want to know why a supernatural presence would come into a hospital and start typing "mama" into a freaking computer when she's just trying to do something else.
I have no idea.
Why did she go to the
point,
computer?
I lost interest, and then they definitely counted on a lot of CGI in this movie.
Yeah,
like, big time. They big time counted on CGI. They ended the whole movie on some huge CGI mess of crap. It was terrible. Guillermo del Toro, that's your boy.
I know, and this is not one of my favorites by him. I'll say that much.
I have no idea what's going on with that. I mean, the ending. You got your wife said epic or something?
No, yeah,
but
she was. They tried for an epic ending.
It wasn't even like a twist. Like generally, you get a twist from the movie or whatever, and that's kind of cool. It wasn't a twist. It was definitely a very grandiose ending of epic proportions. Yeah. Yeah. Like, why would you possibly do that? The confrontation of the apparition. I mean, I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. I kept saying, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah, it was. That ending was a little much. I mean, they could have ended it about 10 minutes before they actually ended it. It would have been terribly cliche for a horror movie, but
it didn't even make sense. The ending didn't even make sense to me.
No, it was very weird.
So, Rooster, what rating do you give, man? Come on, buddy. Come on. What do you give?
Roostafaria.
The Rooster.
Catch it on TNT.
Okay.
Wait for the network premiere?
Yeah. How about you? Baker, what do you give it?
I actually had a lot of trouble with this initially. You know, I'm trying right now to.
I know you kind of struggle a little bit. We were in there having a cocktail. You said, "Hey, we're about to, broadcast." You said, I want to talk to you about it a little bit." You know, like I struggle with the rating of it.
I do, because here's the thing. Okay, I collect movies. I mean, I have an enormous movie collection. You know, and anytime I'm interested in a movie, I'll go and I'll pick it up on DVD and add it to the thing. And I don't have a lot of horror movies, but
would you say that this was a horror movie?
Well, I think it had a lot of the makings of a horror movie. I mean, it had the paranormal thing.
Were you ever at any time in horror of this movie?
No, but when am I would say anymore?
Well, I mean, I would say this is more of a thriller. I would say that it was marketed as a horror movie, but they produced and directed it as a thriller. Is what I would say.
See, but I don't really see. I don't see thrillers as having weird, creepy apparitions of ghostly goo floating around with their hair.
No, you're right, 100% right.
You know, I think that kind of puts it into the horror genre.
Well, if I have to rate it as a horror movie, then I'd give it a worse rating. But if I rate it as a thriller, then I would say wait for the network premiere.
Yeah.
As a thriller. But if it was a horror movie that I'm going to see a movie to be in horror of it, then I would say only be used as anesthetic.
Okay.
So I would say it's more of a thriller, and the ending is everything.
Yes.
Because horror movies have very gross, they have that horror ending. Well, this one was definitely a thriller. It reminded me almost a little bit of What Lies Beneath, but worse, because I thought What Lies Beneath was a good thriller.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. Robert Zemeckis, good thriller. Guy who did Flight and stuff, good thriller, And I thought that the ending of this just kind of reminded me of that, which was a thriller, not a horror, because at the end of it, it wasn't a horror of anything. It was almost like, oh my God, stop showing this in some crappy CGI. Would you stop doing that?
Yeah, just be done with this, please.
Please. I mean, if you touched on it, I thought it would have been good, but they didn't. They just all of a sudden
beat you over the head with it.
Right. They touched on it through the entire movie, and then at the end they go, here's Mama.
Well, I've already seen her. I saw her 20 minutes into the movie.
Right now she's hanging out. She's drinking martinis. Life is good.
People are tripping all over her enormously long shawls. Can you tuck that in a bit, lady?
Come on, Mama. Get it together. Would you?
Well, okay. You did help me out a little bit, because I actually do believe that I would recommend to catch this on DVD.
Oh
because,
my gosh, you movie whore.
Well, hold on.
You movie whore.
I would invite people. I'd pick this up on Red, but I would actually probably own it, because, like I said, I don't own a lot of these.
You would not own this movie.
I would own this movie.
You would own this movie?
Yeah, I was entertained. I mean, I wasn't scared. I'm not going to go out and say, holy crap, this movie is amazing. But I liked the movie.
Wow, look at that, Rooster. What do you think, buddy?
Think about this. This is a horror movie where, for once, the acting isn't terrible. And not to mention, not only is the acting not terrible, but not once did I ever want to yell at somebody for being an idiot. Like, every single time it's always like...
You did. Everybody did. And they were like, don't go in the room. Don't go in the closet.
And what did she do? She shut the closet.
Yeah.
Unlike any other horror movie any other horror movie would have seen a bloody stump come out of that. A bloody stump, and then something saying, don't come in here, I'll kill you. And they're like, turn on their flashlight, hello? And open the door. That's every other horror movie. In this one, she was like, what do you mean don't go in there? Don't go in there. Oh, hell, I'm not going in there. I'm shut this door and I'm walking away.
You're recommending our fans to say, catch it on DVD?
Yeah, I say pick this up on a Redbox. Absolutely.
Wow. I'm shocked. I'm shocked you gave it that good of a rating. Actually, it probably shouldn't be, because he is the true movie whore of all time.
If I'm going to recommend this movie,
I'm going to finish my sentence.
If I recommend, I will finish my sentence.
If any one of these a-holes gonna let me finish my statement.
Come on. You got more
Catch
followers
on
than both of us.
Network premiere.
Yeah.
Catch that
At the
one.
most.
I agree.
If that.
Okay.
I
It was not
agree
good
100%.
at all.
I mean, if you're going to, dude, wait till it comes on TBS and then watch it, and then maybe you might be entertained. Don't waste your time thinking that it's going to be a great movie. Because it's not.
It's not a great movie, but I did like it. So, folks, thanks a lot for joining us here at The Real Review. You can find us at facebook.com/TheRealReviewTX or follow us on Twitter at Samson L. Matador, at Baker the Geek, and at The Rooster BB. Thanks a lot. Catch you next time.
Turn it off, you asshole. A lot of things over there.
No, this is Broken City.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I got everything that was on my list.
Okay.
But,
Wasn't funny. It
no.
was a good review, but that was
Yeah.
not funny at all. We didn't.
You were not funny though.
Fuck off. I at least try to be funny. I went off unfunny, but nobody. Usually I derail funny. So I go off on some weird tangent, you guys pick up on it, and we roll with it. So I did one time, and nobody
was the
fucking rolled
tangent?
with it.
I don't remember.
What was it? No, I know I brought it up because I thought about it. I go, fucking, let's just talk about something because I go, this is
your
almost.
phone's weird. You want to talk about some weird shit?
Shut the fuck. Would you shut the fuck up? I'll fucking punch you.
You said you wanted some weird
Punch
shit.
you in.
Are you gonna? As this was, you do so.
I'll do it all day long, bitch.
I'm saying, I
Oh,
did.
what'd you do? What'd you
We're
do?
still recording.
Would you stop it?
No, don't tell him that. Fuck you.
Oh,
Fuck you, Baker.
I didn't know you didn't know.
Good call. I kind of like where he's coming from. That you're right. I had absolutely no idea. I like that. Oh, now it's fucked up. Now it's fucked up. Now you gotta stop it. But I did one derailment, and nobody picked up on it.